This should be a short and sweet one today. I also have like good news. I'm starting to sell a few of my things. So one of the plants are gone. I move things around. And I also have a new mic. So everything else should sound a little crisper. As you saw in the last video, we've seen that the math can work out. So like, yay. And now, even if the numbers line up, you may still feel a sense of resistance or feeling a little stuck. And why that may be, at least why it was for me, is not really about the budget. It's actually more about the mindset. Because sometimes the biggest barrier isn't your budget, it's your mindset. And it's say if it is your budget, the mindset will be following soon after. I guarantee it. And that's what we're going to cover today in what I'm calling the permission slip. So for those of you who are new around here, my name is Juanita, aka the Caramel Yogi. And for those of you who are not new around here, thank you so much for coming back. I love making these videos. I'm making these like months in advance, by the way. So this is like really cool to kind of see it go on as you guys are seeing these posted. But before we get into the fun stuff, which is like daydreaming about our travels or maybe a bon voyage party, and you start to let people know, I'm not having a party, I'm just doing a little get together. There is a very real and sobering moment when you really sit with the change in terms of like, you know, leaving your friends, moving your stuff, even just like risk taking. When we think about change, it's a risk. So some people are very adverse to risk. People do not want any sort of change. And then there's some people who can like roll with the punches a little bit easier. Whether you're moving to a new state, moving off on your own, starting a new job, starting a business, there is this point where you have to become your biggest self-advocate if you're not already. Speaking for myself, others really don't shake my confidence. I don't have a group of people who are like, oh, you'll never make it, or preying on my downfall. I don't have that, luckily. What really can get me is that random thought. It just comes out of my own, I don't even say insecurities, but yeah, like my own thing of like, am I self-sabotaging my career, my relationships? Am I quitting my job right now? It's crazy. The economy is crazy. Why am I being so reckless when I have like the perfect setup? Like I'm taking this all for granted. What if I'm not able to make money? And say if you do have actual people in your life who are kind of like speaking ill about the things you want to do, that's a whole other can of worms. So now I'm sure you're asking, what does this have to do with a permission slip? Let's get into it. When you were in school, if there was like a very amazing field trip, you're going to some kind of exhibit or a museum, your school, your teacher would ask you to get a permission slip signed by an adult, a guardian of some sort, and they would like vouch for you. Not even vouch. They would prove you're going on the trip or validate you're going on the trip. Fast forward to today, even as an adult, you'll have someone vouching for you or validating you. It could be your boss, whether you get a promotion or getting a raise, they're in the power of that. It could be a partner. I've had friends who are in these situationships, or maybe their partner doesn't want to marry them and they're in this kind of stalemate. That's another validating process. And even society at large, if you feel beautiful enough or accepted enough, there's just so many different factors where we are kind of waiting on someone else to give us the like, attaboy, you're doing a good job, pat on the back. But what if you wrote your own permission slip? What if you didn't wait on someone else, like your boss, a partner, friend, society at large, for the permission to do something great? You validate that experience for yourself. What if you didn't need someone else to decide whether you make a bold change? How do we do this? Treat this like an actual practice, whether you're writing it down, you add it to your morning prayers or affirmations. And for those of you who are kind of familiar with affirmations, that's that, you know, I am strong, I am brave, I am beautiful, but we're gonna slightly change it. I want to share what I am hearing and what I use. My permission slip nowadays, I guess like 2 months out from all of my changes, is you have permission to try something new. You have permission to pursue other passions. You have permission to try something and change your mind. So when I do get that message of, it's so stupid to quit your job right now, like you have some friends who are unemployed who need jobs and you're being ungrateful, when I have that record playing in my head, I can immediately pull out my permission slip or write it in my daily journal entries. No, you have permission to try new things. You have permission to have tried this corporate world out, to try this different experience out and make a new decision. You have permission to do that. I do, in fact, have an amazing job, or did. By the time you're watching this, did have an amazing job. And it taught me so much and was the vehicle for me to have these amazing experiences outside of the state I've called home, outside of the country I've called home. I honor that and I give myself permission to pursue my other passions like traveling and creating full time. So here is an invitation for you. So if you've been standing in your own way or feeling some sort of resistance, I want you to write your own permission slip. You can do so in the comments. You can do it in your daily journal entry. Maybe you don't write it down at all. It's something that is spoken or something you'll just remember to hear in your head, but I highly recommend writing it if you can. What are you giving yourself permission to do? Say if you put it in the comments, I think it'd be fun for one, I just want to see what you guys come up with, and maybe you may inspire somebody else who may be in a similar situation. Comment away. I would love that. And really just understand, like, as we get into like the future videos of like how I knew what to sell, how I knew what to keep, or things I cut off, or giving my resignation, breaking my lease paperwork. Those all had to kind of get me to give myself permission. There was some kind of unconscious or written conscious thought of, it's okay to do this. I'm okay making this decision. I will be okay once I make the decision. And I want you to feel that sense of comfort too, without having to go to mom or go to your boss or go to a friend. Like, you can affirm yourself as you are with that permission slip. I really hope that's something that you take advantage of and that you try, at least try for a smaller decision just to see how it feels in your body. And as always, if you like this video, be sure to like this video, subscribe so you can know immediately when I post the next one, because it is a little bit of a series now. And looking forward to seeing the comments on this video if there are any. I have a smaller channel, so when there is one, I'm like, yay! Once you've given yourself permission to walk away, the real question is now, what are you walking towards? And I do want to touch more on that in my next video, which is about renting your title and owning your character, which is from a bigger quote from Tashonda Brown Duckett. But we will get all into that again in the next video. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.